Hi, this is Doug Lightfoot, and this is the Paladar Dons Class of 1970 YouTube reunion channel. This channel is meant to spur interest and awareness in the upcoming reunion, which will take place April 28th and 29th, 2023 in Amarillo. Future reunion details will be posted to this site. Last summer, the reunion committee asked me to MC the reunion, which I wholeheartedly accepted. I met with the committee on November 3rd. We discussed many things, one of which was this YouTube channel, to augment other outreach efforts through Facebook and email blasts. I felt this YouTube channel would be great fun for me personally and hopefully interesting to everyone, especially my 1970 classmates. This channel will have up-to-date and pertinent reunion information, Zoom video interviews, pertinent informational slideshows, some trivia quizzes, and as they say, a lot more. If you have any Paladaro memorabilia you think would fit this site, please contact me at the site's email address below. And now, without further ado, let's begin our next interview. Hi, Doug Lightfoot here. Our next interview will be with Dan Reynolds. He's recently retired from a very successful construction company. He lives with his wife, Anne, on 10 or 12 acres with about a 60-acre lake. Beautiful, beautiful area. Lots of trees, lots of mosquitoes, and a great patio to drink tea and fellowship on. So without further ado, let's welcome Dan and Anne Reynolds. Hi, everybody. I'm here with Dan and Anne Reynolds. We're here today to talk about a lot of things. Their family, their property, maybe some Paladaro memories, and some of the activities that they do in and around their property. Hi, Dan and Ann. How are you doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being my guinea pig. Dan and I have been guinea pigs at a lot of things. So this is another one. I'm going to try to share a screen with you.
Okay.
And let me see. Can you see that?
Yes, I see you.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay. And this, this is a slideshow. Has a lot of pictures of you and Ann together.
Yes.
And so what is this? It looks like you're dancing.
Yes, this is at one of the dances we went to. I'm not sure which one. If this was,
I'm not sure.
At friends. We have a Hawaiian shirt night. Some of the guys did, and we would just, for the heck of it, just.
No, actually, I think all of you accidentally showed up wearing your Hawaiian shirt. There were about 6 of you, or maybe 8. It was like, what?
Did y'all plan this?
and it was actually unplanned.
Okay. Well, now you've got a few slides here, so we're going to go through here till we get to the Paladura stuff. But did you get some kind of reward or something on this? What is this?
No, we just went out to dance, and we were going to a new place, and so we figured we'd better reserve a seat. We shouldn't have.
Reserved a table for us and a few friends.
But we had fun.
It was good. I don't remember where this was at.
I think that was at the Cowboy Ranch. It is now closed.
Okay. I remember the 2010 reunion, and all the girls wanted to dance with Dan.
Yes, and they still do. And they do, and he does.
Okay.
He will not turn anyone down if they come to ask him to dance. He will not embarrass them, and he always makes them the show of the floor.
That's how he was in high school, and he was just a babe magnet.
Yeah.
And here's must be a past Christmas scene.
Christmas at our friend's Patty's house.
Okay.
We had a few pool parties there too.
Looks pretty festive.
Yeah.
Another occasion
Ooh.
here.
That one is up
Devon Tower.
Yeah, on the Devon Tower in the restaurant Vast. And we're, I think,
Wow.
about 53 stories up at this point.
Wow.
And it is fabulous.
So that's what it looks like. I've never been up there. That's cool.
Well, this is just by the buffet. So
Now, Dan, this is not a picture of you and Anne, is it?
yeah. It's kind of at a little more formal party.
I clean
Okay.
up pretty good most of the time. This is at, I think, one of our friends' birthday party. We went to that, or either Galardia. We went to the Christmas party.
Well, the goatee and the mustache makes you look very distinguished.
I don't know if it makes me any more intelligent, but it looks
Yeah.
good.
Now, who's this? It's got a name under the picture, but that can't be you.
Yeah, that's me. I think I was 18 years old there, 16 or 18 years old right there.
Yeah.
Long time ago
And
in high school.
And in high school, we'd been friends for a long time then, but how long have we been friends? It's got to be over 60 years.
Yeah, we played Kids Inc. basketball and football together, Doug, for years. I think that's where we first met, and I met your mom and your dad. And we've been there ever since.
Getting coffee.
Best guy, best man, for me.
Well, and I can remember going over to your house and being with Keith and Bear and Janet and Lynn, your brother, who passed away. And your mother still lives in Amarillo?
Yes, mom lives in Amarillo. She's on Arden Road. She's 93rd birthday, the 31st of this month.
Wow.
She's doing pretty good. She's doing good.
Cool. Well, let's see. What do we got here next? Oh, what I remember about this picture is your glasses.
Yeah. they claimed, and then they were rightfully so, said I couldn't throw strikes because I was all over the place all the time. And so we did the glasses to see if it helped.
Did it?
I don't know. I still wild.
Well, and your dad was a pitcher?
Yes, he taught quite a few of the guys coming up from the time we were young guys all the way up to Legion Ball into high school. He taught quite a few of the guys, Donnie Pearson, Dino Jones, guys that were ahead of us, Johnny Moore, myself. I think I was his biggest challenge.
And I was on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, sometimes not so good.
Well, Dan, and I've got to apologize. You could throw the ball faster than anyone else. If I'd have got with you and just practiced a little more, you'd have been the best pitcher on our team.
Oh, I don't know. I always had trouble controlling it. Dad always said I overthrew all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, that was back in the day. What do we got next? Oh, here. Do you remember this?
Yes. I saw this not too long ago.
I love that photo.
This was one of the speech class with Miss Latham. One of the girls wanted to do the hot hairstylist deal, so she asked me if I would do it. Nancy Bryce, I think was her name. If I would do it with her. So me being me, I said, no problem.
And you were in a speech class with Melinda Biles?
Yes. Melinda and I were speech favorites our senior year.
Okay, great.
Hi, Melinda, if you're out there, I haven't seen you in forever.
Now, we've got 3 team pictures here. This is the 1967 class.
Yes.
Who on that team do you remember the most?
Oh gosh, there's a lot of them I remember. Of course, Bob Wilson, he was 2 years older than us. Gene, his brother, right next to him. Let's see. I think Bobby's in there, and Dino and Big Junior. Of course, Big Junior played. Was a junior, and in this photo, I believe, and Dino was a senior, and then Pete Cousins, who's passed away now. A lot of these guys I remember because I remember them from my older brother. He was in their class also, Lynn.
But Lynn didn't play football.
No, he didn't play. He just played baseball. He was he.
In the field, or is it the concession stand that's named
I remember Goose Noyes, John Noyes. Everybody called him Goose.
Yes.
Yeah,
and of course Wendell Reeves passed away. What, about a year ago?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now he was a junior in that picture, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I gotta say something.
Sure.
Me and you used to think these guys were the toughest, meanest hombres on the face of the earth. Some of them were. Let me go to the next one. And then these guys were the toughest, meanest hombres on the face of the earth.
Yeah, that's 68.
But what did anybody think of our class? Were we tough and mean, or are we just athletic? I don't know.
I think some of the guys coming up, my little brothers came up a couple years behind me, and they said, there's some good athletes, some pretty tough guys, and this bunch. One of the things you got to remember is Big Junior played against Jerry Sizemore, who was all pro, I believe. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. All pro NFL tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Big Junior and Jerry Sizemore, when we played Plainview, went at it all day long. And Willie Bolton, who was there with us, Willie said, I sat and watched it all day. And he said, those two were at each other big time. So, quite the guys. And
they had quite a team.
Yeah, and I always remembered you because you went both ways all the time, and you'd come out at the end of the game, you'd just be totally worn out.
Well, I didn't know any better. The coach said, "Get in there, stay in there," but I obeyed.
Yeah, we give up. Didn't we?
Okay, what do we got next here? Oh, this is our group. Did anyone think we were tough hombres?
I know my two younger brothers, they were sophomores. They said that, we was pretty tough guys. We look pretty good in there, Doug. I don't know about this guy. There's JD, Jonathan Douglas.
Yes. And the last time I saw Jonathan was at the 1990 reunion. Oh. And I think he worked in Kansas City as a computer programmer.
Yes, he did. We went up to see him one time, just stopped by and got to talk to him about his sons. He had 3 boys that were playing sports and doing well. And Jonathan at the time, it's been several years now. And I guess, see, Billy John's not with us anymore. Billy Hurt.
Eddie Allison.
Daryl Johnson's not with us anymore. All the guys a lot of guys went to school with. Okay.
When I went to Amarillo to meet with the reunion committee, I met Mike Felty. And I said, Mike, one of the most memorable events that occurred at Travis was the day that you had a rock band and you played for us in the auditorium. And I said, who was in that band? Because I remember him, he was playing the bass, and he told me that Rocky Tyler and Bobby Tarr, and then he named somebody else I forget.
Is it Randall Judd?
Maybe that sounds
Randall, he played in the band. Judd,
okay.
I believe that's correct. Judd is his last name. He was, pretty
Do
good.
you remember what I'm talking about, that day that they performed in the auditorium?
Vaguely, Doug. Yes, I remember.
I think they played like Gloria, and I went away from that concert with Gloria in my mind for a month.
Yeah, they really did pretty good, and they used to draw some pretty good crowds when we were
Yeah.
in high school at the dances and stuff.
Okay. And here's some pictures of us.
Yeah, that's me, you, and my brother Keith and Tina and Ann. Before we went to the ball game, Texas Rangers Triple A Club in Oklahoma City, and I think all the stuff behind us was fixing to re-roof the roof here.
Yeah. That was
All
that was that was a few years ago. We looked younger back then.
Yeah, it's been 10 or 12 years at
Well, yeah, I
least.
sure did.
And us at the Texas Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yes, yes.
Really good place to eat.
Yeah, really good.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Longhorn Steakhouse. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
You said the tea was really, really
Man,
good.
the tea is exceptional there.
Yeah.
Okay, you and your dogs?
Yeah, this is Precious, our fence jumping cow dog.
Yeah,
She
we have
loves,
Precious now.
she has no tail.
She was born without it, her and her brother.
But anyway, they're some of our flower beds around the house and all. And,
And
we're
you're
throwing
preparing for a party?
Yeah, we had about 15, 20 people for it's either stew and cornbread or fishing and breakfast, one of the two. We do that about once a year with everybody. Uh, that shows us in Cancun 2 years ago. And Ann likes to tell everybody that I had my phone in my pocket when I got in.
So he's standing there without knowledge that his phone is in his swimsuit at that very moment.
Oh,
And what's this? Is that a bass?
Yeah, it's a bass that came out of there, one of the smaller ones.
Oh, it's medium.
We had 2 years ago, 2 10-pounders pulled out within 2 days out of the lake.
And is that your dam in the background?
Yes.
Yes.
We just finished redoing it, I think, the summer before.
And I think we're about to see some.
Yeah, that is Ann's mom and dad's windmill from Spearman, Texas, that I hauled up here on my trailer, and we set it back up. They wanted to keep it in the family, so I set it up down by the lake. And then we're doing the Benzevo right there. This is the dam before we started, and we're clearing it all off. The erosion on the backside was hurting the dam, so we went in and cleared it all. The dam, the dozer is sitting in the middle of the dam, gives you an idea of how big.
It's about 400 foot long.
But there it is after we finished it. And
I ran the front end loader or backhoe and the dump truck. If you notice those piles of dirt dumped up along the top of the dam, I did that.
Well, you guys, Dan and Ann, you are probably the only Paladuro graduates that own a dam.
A lot of work.
Well, damn.
It's fun.
We'll see if that makes the cut.
That's Benzevo this fall. We're fixing to put 10-foot timbers underneath it for 10 foot high off the ground. It'll be a meeting place for church groups, weddings, friends, parties, the bands, whatever we want to do. And then it'll have another 14-foot with a bar and a storage area right next to it, and a bathroom.
Looks wonderful. And then you guys throw a lot of events during the year?
They've slacked off a little bit the last couple of
each
years,
year.
but yeah, we couple of
Each
years,
year.
but yeah, we have, I think the last 4th of July we had 250 fillets and a crappie.
Now
and
that was in
19.
2020. Well, it's COVID had just started earlier that year, and people came out and they could either wear a mask or not, and they could socially distance or not. And we had 120 people and 500 fillets, I think.
This is one of my friends, Lonnie Washington. He was a Vietnam vet, he got shot in the legs twice in Vietnam. He's a couple years older than us, and his wife, Deidre. I photographed with him. He's having trouble with his legs, but he's doing good.
Yeah. And I've been out to a few of those, and man, the fireworks show after the meal is just fantastic.
Yeah, it was good, really good. And I guess the best part about it is you didn't have to pay anything. All you had to do was bring a This is Ann and Colleen. We set up the tent and for the food, and Colleen helped us. She's a good friend of ours, and John did all of the crappie fry for us, him and Brett. And so we didn't have to do any of the cooking, nothing. Ann and
Colleen's the one that takes all the pictures and kind of documents the.
No, she just looks good in pictures.
Oh.
We had a neighbor that would take a lot of pictures, and I'm not sure who was taking the pictures this time. This may have been your granddaughter Cassidy taking these pictures.
It might have been.
Okay. All righty. Well, that about wraps up the slideshow. Before we sign off, I was going to ask you about you living on Martin Road Lake, because I know you used to live down by Mike and Steve Garner.
Yes.
And there were quite a few of our classmates that lived around you. David Wilson.
Right. Rita Cummings and her younger sister that was a couple years behind us. And then Doug Slade, that was 2 years older than us, won the Olympic gold medal that wrestled at PD. He lived around the corner. Quite a few people right there in that area.
And that was near 24th and Grand?
Yeah, near DNS Pharmacy, going there to the mall. And, we used to sneak down to the pool hall and shoot pool down there.
Yes. You know, that pool hall had the first slot car track that I was familiar with anyway.
Right.
And I used to go to that pool hall and just gawk over the cars and the track. And I didn't have enough money to buy a car, but I'd go there and try to watch somebody that was racing. And those are good times. I remember, and I forget the guy who owned the place, but he had a son that he'd go off to lunch and leave his young son kind of manage the place. And it was a penny a minute. And I remember one day being there, and his dad left, and I asked his son, I said, okay, it's a penny a minute, isn't it? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, I've got a dime, and I'm gonna do it for 10 minutes. He said, okay. So I got out, racked the balls, got my cue, busted them, and his dad came back. And he saw me there, and he talked to his son, and he yanked that cue out of my hand and told me to get out. Because nobody was going to sit there and play pool for a dime.
I remember when we were growing up, and you were saving money and working every summer for your Chevelle SS.
Yes.
And you bought that brand new off the showroom and worked for 4 or 5 years straight. And you'd say, can you come and make my mail run for me down to Dumas? I got a date tonight. I got a hot date tonight or something. I said, sure.
that mail route, I did it every night except for Christmas. I did it for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And I only worked like 2 or 3 hours, but boy, they paid me really well.
Yeah.
And that got me through a couple of college years. So that was a good job.
Yeah.
So,
It was a nice car too. I remember seeing it the first time.
well, another one of these segments, I'm going to feature that car. I'm going to feature my car. I'm going to feature your car, the 69 Chevelle. I'm going to feature Marty's 63 Impala. And I'm going to talk about, you remember Johnny Parker's Henry J?
Yes. And Bobby
Man,
Carr's Super Bee, first Super Bee we ever saw.
yes. And then he had that GS, that Grand Stage Buick.
Yes.
Baby blue.
Yes.
You know, and one of the guys that I remember that had a cool car was Gary Cobb.
Oh, really?
He had a Super Bee, or yeah, one of those. And I know Gary has passed away too.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. So, okay,
Yeah.
I'm getting another upgrade message. So, hey, thanks a lot, Dan.
Great.
And Anne, I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope it comes out as well as we think it will.
It'll be great. We need to share with us each other while we can.
All righty. We'll talk to you later.
See you, bud.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for joining us. That was a lot of fun being with Dan and Anne Reynolds. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will be with us next time we do an interview with one of our classmates. Check you later.